Okay, so let's talk about video. Let's talk about filmmaking, getting our video stuff off the ground because I think it's super important. It's a super good next step for us. So anyone that's doing video, as long as you've finished um finish those slides, those intro slides that I posted on Classroom, you should be good to start this next step. Okay, so let's take a look. I'm just going to go through the slides on here because that's the best I can do right now. Well, sort of the best I can do. Let's just scooch them up. Okay, so let's talk about film and video. I'm going to cover these slides super fast because what's on them is meant for an in-class, like an in-person lecture, and I don't want to make a new one just for this video. So we're just going to talk real quick. Okay, filmmaking is huge. It's a huge practice. It's a huge thing, especially with the advent of streaming right now. It's kind of blowing up in popularity with people at home constantly right now, and the threat of that kind of ever looming on us. I think video is taking a step up because more people need video content, more people need to produce video content, and therefore professionals like us that can produce video content are becoming more and more valuable. So there are three different parts that we have to think about here. We have to think about our camera, we have to think about our sound, and to think about our narrative. Okay, all three of these things work in conjunction with each other to create a compelling video. Okay, sound. If your sound is bad, your video is bad. That's just it. So do your best to create some sound or to have sound that is good. If your sound design is really good, using sound effects from the internet and you're kind of placing them around, fantastic. If you want to record a good location sound, that is a whole other practice, and we'll talk about it if you need to. But really, really don't brush over your sound because it will negatively impact your video if you do that. So think about it. If your video is really bad and you have really crisp, really nice sound, it'll save it. Hey, camera. Your camera is the only point of view that the audience has. You can only give them information through the camera, so any information that you want them to have, you have to show on camera. That is very important. Okay, if you want someone to know that there is an important object off on some table somewhere, you have to have a shot of that. So you have to really think about what are the important things in my scene and how am I going to show them on camera, because it needs to be shown if it's important. Okay? If it's not shown, the audience does not know it is there. And narrative. Okay? So this is the hardest one for us because we are so new in the process. And we don't have any professional actors. So our actors are naturally going to be kind of bad, and that's okay. And our script is naturally going to be not, we're not Aaron Sorkin over here. So we're not going to have this amazing professional script. So we kind of have to save our videos with a good camera and sound production. Try your best to keep your story simple, though. Since we are on such a low budget with such little around us to use, the simpler it is, the better. Okay, we're going to be making a 1 to 2 minute short film. We'll talk about what that is going to be in a bit. But since we are not spending any money on this, because who wants to spend money on things? We got to keep it short. We got to keep it simple. We have to rely on the things around us. So don't come up with an idea that requires you to have these like crazy stunts and computer effects and like, oh, he's gonna blow up a car and all this stuff. Like, forget it. Something short, simple, and clever is going to be your best bet. Like one of the videos that one of my Digital 3 students did when he was in Digital 2 was a commercial for the idea of pants. Great idea, okay? Just pants. Fantastic. So think about that. Now, we are going to be making a short film that goes into 3 different categories. You're going to choose one of 3 different categories. You're going to choose either the day in the life, which is you're going to choose an object that you are going to follow around and create a narrative for that object. Think of like a Toy Story sort of thing, except it doesn't have to be alive. So if I was going to do the day in the life of my water bottle, I would include shots of this water bottle through all the things that happen to it throughout the day. It goes into my car. It gets filled up at in the teacher's lounge. It gets filled up at home. It gets tossed around. It gets dropped. It gets used. Okay, all those things will help create that narrative. So that's the day in the life. The box. Okay, so give me 1 second. Everybody will get a box. A white box that says fragile on it, fragile. It is empty. There's nothing in it. Okay, it is just a mundane, everyday good old box. Okay, so you are going to use this box as your prop for the film. So the protagonist will start with the box or find the box. They will have a conflict with an antagonist, someone that wants the box or wants to protect the box or whatever. They will resolve this conflict however you see fit, and the box must leave the shot at the end of the film. How you go about these steps, that's up to you. But that's our thing. Or our last option is a commercial, where you're going to pick a product or a service or a thing and start creating a commercial about it. You're going to try your best to market this object, this thing, this idea, so that people want to subscribe to it, buy it, use it, all that. So those are the three options. These are 1 to 2 minutes long, no longer than that. Let's say if you do the box and it ends up being longer, fine, whatever. But those are our 3 options. So your steps today are to pick one of these 3 options, write up a short summary of how you want your film to go, and draw out a very simple storyboard about that hits all the important steps of your film. Okay, now a storyboard does not have to be an incredibly drawn thing. There are professional storyboard artists. You are not professional storyboard artists, and that's okay. Okay, this is fine for a storyboard. This is fine for a storyboard. Okay, this kind of idea, that's this really simple kind of drawing, that is totally fine. Stick people with words, that is totally fine. I'm not looking for this impeccably drawn, incredible storyboard with all these cool effects and people. I'm just looking for something simple. Okay? I want you to pace out this film in your head, know exactly where it's going to go, how it's going to get there, and beat it out on a storyboard. Okay? So that's where we're at today. Let's get rolling.